This has been quite the year for Creator Sessions. We have had some incredible artists join us on this series. If you join us regularly, you know that Creator Sessions is a place where we get to explore the creative process through the lens of the artists that we most admire. And our hope is that the lessons that come out of these sessions will help you on your journey. Creator Sessions is different though, in that my goal isn't just to entertain you, it's to encourage and empower you. So this episode is a little different. We are going to share our top 10 moments and lessons from 2021. To kick us off, let's hear from Brittney Spencer about the journey.
I'll tell you what I've learned. I've learned that hardly anyone knows what they're doing. I've learned that everyone is just trying to do the best they can and hoping that it works and that it sticks. I've learned that everyone is just trying to tell their story in hopes that it connects with someone else. I've learned that if I continue to tell my story, maybe it'll connect to a few people, because I've learned that my experience is probably someone else's too. And that's the kind of the thing that I keep in the forefront of my head, is that I'm not the only one. Like, I can't be the only one. Like Sam Smith said, I know I'm not the only one. But it's funny, but it's true. I think that being consistent is so helpful and so important. I guess to give context, yesterday an artist reached out to me, an artist that I've admired and loved for a really long time, reached out to me just to give me just some encouraging words. And I just thought, this is so beautiful. And I was like, you know what? I just decided to send her a video that I did on one of her songs, like an old Instagram post from like 2014. And I sent it to her. And then I sent her a picture that she and I had taken when I had gone to one of her shows. And I just remember thinking in that moment, like, how fun is it that I get to just meet people that have been heroes to me? And you just never know where your journey takes you. You know, I feel like I'm living my dream right now, the same way I felt like I was living my dream in 2014. The dream is the destination. There is no, or the dream for me actually is probably the journey. I don't know that there's a destination. I don't know what made it looks like. I don't know what made it feels like. I don't know that I ever will. I hope I never do, because this journey is important. You know, if you can find a way to be happy on the journey, then you'll be happy when you accomplish your goals and when you see some of your dreams realized. And so that would probably be my biggest piece of advice, is to find joy in every moment, and to lean on that, because you don't just change just because your life changed or something happened, something on Twitter, something on Instagram, you meet an idol or something. Like, if you're not happy then, or wherever you are right now, you're not going to be happy later on either. And I think that would be my one piece of advice that I'm probably still learning.
Let's move on to number 9, which is from the incredibly talented documentary filmmaking couple, Matt Salleh and Rose Tucker. I picked this clip because I love how Matt and Rose didn't let their limitations stop them from creating their art. It's such an important lesson. There's always going to be someone or something that can do it better than you. But don't ever let that stop you from creating. To prepare for the clip, let's watch the trailer for We Don't Deserve Dogs to give you a little preview of what they were able to create within their limitations. Though I don't think they would call them limitations.
Anche quando andavo a scuola, ho iniziato ad andare a scuola, quando tornavo a casa la prima cosa è andare a vedere i cani.
Paylaşabiliyorum yani köpekle bazı şeyleri. İşte moralim bozulduğu zaman işte bugün moralim bozuk diyorum işte. bir şeyler paylaşıp da işte duygulu anlar da yaşayabiliyorum köpeğimle.
No, I don't know. I think I'm blessed. I think things are working out in my favor. My concept and my perception is that my God and my Allah is looking at what good is being happened to His creation. It is His creation and I'm taking care of it. So I think He's giving me His blessings and I can feel His blessings on me.
Nahan pangai ni gua kepuanya me belerem. Beda gonya. Tadi gue jingo cunya tikeri mo be ana mare en ben mara.
What amazes me is when bad things have happened to them or when somebody's done something terrible to them, they always trust again, which amazes me, totally amazes me.
I like to tell people don't wait for permission to make, whether it be a film, art, whatever it is, you know. We tried for a year to get funding for this, unsuccessfully. Most people at that point would have said, oh, well, I guess we're not making the film then. But no, we were like, okay, well, let's find a way to make it happen. Let's take the little bit of Netflix money we get every quarter and put that into a new film instead of just frittering it away on New York rent.
Everyone thinks it's crazy, but then it's like there is this point where, you know, they tell you, oh, if you put everything into your own art, you're a fool. The market is different to it was, you know, in the 70s or 80s. Like, that could be the best decision.
And you can achieve a lot with very little. Like, you can make a film that you know, looks beautiful on the big screen without having to spend hundreds of $1,000s on camera gear.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you can do it with a lot less these days.
Every part of the production process, every part of the financing process, every part of the distribution process, we were told that, no, you can't do that yourself. There's experts that do it. And then we spend a lot of time with those experts getting built for a lot of money. And then you go like, okay, yes, this guy with this giant mixing stage in LA will do a better job than me. But enough for me to like have to sacrifice everything else in the film because there's no money left for everything else? No. Yes, having this boutique distributor might be helpful, but doing it ourselves where we have control over it and do the rest of it, there are advantages at every stage. And with all of that money you save, you will make so many better decisions on like, you know, either locations you can go to or people or whatever you need to spend time on in the film. You buy yourself a huge amount of time because you've traded the 10-bit color space for an 8-bit color space, which no one cares about anyway.
We've sold a film to Netflix. We've had films play in cinemas all around the world. No one has ever asked or cared what camera it was shot on. Yeah,
it is so far from the and that's like Rosie said. It's because we didn't ask for permission on any of this. Maybe we've been at a point where we've gone through it. You know, we were the first people in Australia where we're from that shot TV commercials on DSLRs. So we went into that area, that scary world first. And there were all these guys with big machines that would scare us off with really big words and like you couldn't do. And you turn up on set with your tiny little camera and then like there'd be like, you know, you'd be on other film sets and they have all these big things that, you know, all over the top. And then you know, but then the results would speak for themselves. And I think you have to have confidence in your own results. We meet a lot of people that edit their own work or do their own color work. They might, you know, throw a Lumetri grade with a bit of a film convert on it in Premiere and then go like, but I want to save up $50,000 to get this guy to grade it properly. Now, if you've got $50,000 to burn, do it. But if you don't, and if that is like the whole budget of your film, have confidence in your own work. You know, I think what people are doing on YouTube and what people are doing with short films is like, it's better than what a lot of people in the industry are doing. Everyone is in the business of saying that your work needs a professional touch because everyone needs to make money off it. the more you retain, then you retain the ownership of your ideas, you retain the content. You got to do it a little tough sometimes, but the rewards are there now. And I think there's never been a more exciting time to work in film from a technical point of view than now. And then you can reach an audience. You know, we've had this is the most rewarding part of it in a way for us, is that, you know, we have controlled the release of this film. We've had people buy it in 49 countries now. So that, you know, that's all of our, you know, our control over that. So I think it's really important for people to not be swayed into thinking they can't do things. There is a pathway for everything, I think.
All right, moving on to number 8. And I really want to cement this idea, and Tiffany Day says something really similar to Matt and Rose, but from a musician's perspective. She isn't a classically trained musician and didn't have the best equipment, but that didn't stop her either.
I name my guitars because I just love making everything very personal. And this guitar's name is Tofu because I really like tofu. Before I started singing this song, I actually had stuff to talk about for this song specifically, just because this is actually the first song that I ever brought into a studio in Los Angeles. And the craziest part of all of it is the fact that I actually recorded the vocals on this song. The actual current version that's out right now on Spotify and everywhere on all streaming platforms was recorded on my $100 Blue Yeti USB mic when I was 18 years old, and I'm 21 now, if that gives you some sort of reference. So first off, I've been sitting on the song for a very long time, and that's a whole nother story. But it's just very amazing to me, and I don't think I understood this until later on, how crazy important a really good mix is for your song. The fact that I recorded these vocals on like a very, very cheap microphone, yet the vocal still sounded so rich and lovely, was all thank you to my favorite mixer, one of my favorite mixers, Jesse Ray Ernster, who did an amazing job mixing the whole song. But it goes to show that you don't necessarily need expensive equipment to make really good music. It's mainly what you do to the recordings or the music that you make to make it sound good.
This next one, my number 7 pick, is one of my favorite moments from this year because it's so fun to see how Tyler Hilton got creative and used Patreon to connect with his fans on a totally different level and even let it impact his work. This example really showcases a totally different level of connection you can have with your fans. If you're a creator out there and you're watching this, I'd really encourage you to explore what this looks like for you.
Part of being off the road was signing onto a Patreon account and I had this idea of when I was out on the road, there were clearly some fans that were not just casual music fans and like fans of my music, but people who were super invested in like what I was doing next, wanted to kind of follow up on what songs were ending up on the cutting room floor, asking about B-sides, things they heard on YouTube. And I wanted to find a way to use those fans who had such cool opinions of my music and really listen to things in a different way to use their opinion on some of my new record. So I had this idea of like doing some monthly concerts on Patreon, but also having this studio couch dweller tier where I'm able to post demos at different stages or songs that I'm working on in the studio. And I guess I had the comfort of knowing they couldn't be downloaded or whatever, but they can just stream these demos or different versions that I'm trying, and I get people's feedback. Super helpful. There is something about probably like, you know, the performer in me that does get amped up a little bit when someone's watching, you know? So bringing some outside eyes into my songwriting and studio process was kind of cool, and made me up my game and want to show off more, you know? And that's kind of like what I was trying to trick myself into like getting, because there's something on the road where I just turn on a little bit more and I think I sing even better and all this stuff because, you know, I don't know, you want to be cool, you want to be like, you want people to like have a good time, there's something competitive about showing that. I don't know, there's just something about it, you know? So having that in the studio has been cool. And then I took it even farther. We have another tier where every month I'll have a little Zoom coffee dates with people like I used to on the road. We'd get together for coffee before the shows. And so we'll do little groups of 6 and we'll get together and talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. Like it's been literally the most social stuff that I've had since I've had the kid and I've just been chilling is these coffees. It's been so fun. Anyway, so wild situation. And I kind of wondered too, once we had our baby, I was like, I want to do some more records, focus on putting out more records, be on the road less, focus on doing more music for TV and film and stuff. And but I was really, really getting this pit in my stomach about hanging out with the fans and getting this feedback, because I knew there were some of them that I'd be leaving hanging. So Patreon has just filled all those gaps. The most random things that I would never post on Instagram or anything like that, because I'm like, I don't know who's following me on this. It could be my grandma, it could be like some movie producer, it could be fans, you know? With the Patreon stuff, these people are hilarious, and they're like, it's inside joke on inside jokes. Like, as we're moving out of this house, I had all this shit that I was like, what do I do with old cords from the road and stuff? And I was like, I'm gonna send a bunch of random junk to all my patrons. So I put together, like, got all these envelopes and was just dropping, like, you know, picks, old strings, you know, cords from the road. And I was gonna feel bad about throwing this stuff away, because I was like, that's kind of cool, but I want someone to have it, but I just don't want to move with it. Patrons, man, love them. They're my faves.
This session might have been one of my favorites to film because Quinn is such a warm and wonderful person. And in this clip, we hear Quinn talking about the long journey and how he, as the artist, may not exist if he had listened to his inner critic. What I love about this story, though, is that when he reflected on his feelings, it was actually his former self from years past that was challenging his frame of mind and reminding him that where he's at now in his creator journey is exactly where he wanted to be then. And he should probably celebrate that more than he was allowing himself to.
What I wish I knew moving to Nashville and like putting on the artist hat and chasing down that life was that I feel like I go into a lot of situations being like, oh, this will be good because it's something to write about, or like, oh, it's everything needs to be sad so I have content to write about. But life, I feel like I always used to say like, oh, I got to go live life so I can write about things. Like, life's going to happen. If you're in a stage where you're just writing songs about different things, write songs about different things, like get everything out. And then you'll go through stages where you're like, oh man, I haven't written in days. Like, I have life to live. But I feel like if someone would have kind of told me to roll with the punches instead of thinking every moment was going to be like, oh, this is the moment and I got to seize it. I feel like when that happens, you know it. And sometimes it's to different levels and to different peaks, but it's a long journey, and everybody will tell you that it's a long journey. And I've had hundreds of people in the industry be like, it's a long journey. And I'm like, I know, but it is. And just take the highs and the lows and try to make them work the best for you. Honestly, very recently, I had a moment where I called my mom and dad, I called my brother and sister, and I was like, so I quit. Like, I love writing songs and I'll still write songs, but like Quinn Lewis as an artist, I think is done. And it was just really weird timing. I had come off like a dream tour. I had written these songs and gone to people and had people tell me that they were the best songs I'd written, and I felt like they were the best songs I'd written, and then certain things just didn't fall into place. I got to certain levels that me 2 years before then was like, dude, I feel like if I had 3 different iterations of myself standing in the room from a timeline, each person from earlier on would be like, you're an idiot. You have everything that you wanted to have. Like, why aren't you happy? So I was kind of looking at myself in that lens, being like, why am I not? Is it because I want to be an artist? And then I strongly considered, like, maybe I'll just try and write songs and tell everybody I'm not going to be an artist. And then you write a song and you're like, oh, well, no one else can sing that. Like, I don't want them to have that. Or like, the perfect person would have to take this song. And it kind of just all snaps in, and you realize you're a crazy person and you've been being talked off a ledge by everybody that you know. But yeah, I've definitely had moments where I was like, this is it. But they always kind of come and go quickly.
All right, friends, I hope you liked this roundup, because on the next episode, we are going to close out with my top 5 favorite moments from 2021. That said, if one of these moments really inspired you, tell us how in the comments, because this show is really just about that. And while the performances are always amazing, it's what happens in between that is the real gold. As always, I'm Haley. Thank you for joining our end of the year roundup. I will see you next time. But first, here is one of my favorite performances from 2021. Here is Joy Oladokun with Sunday.
Mama says I'm up to no good again. Couldn't make her proud, though I did my best. I feel like a mess, I feel like I'm stuck in the wrong skin. I feel like I'm sick, but I'm having trouble swallowing my medicine. Sunday, carry me down to the water, wash me clean. I'm still struggling. Sunday, bury me under the weight of who you need me to be. Can't you see I'm struggling? I keep God locked in a picture frame, so I feel a little better about my number day. Yeah, I confess, the questions and the answers seem to sound the same. I'm just like the rest, standing tall, pretending not to be afraid. Sunday, carry me down to the water, wash me clean. I'm still struggling. Sunday, bury me under the weight of who you need me to be. Can't you see I'm struggling? Sunday, come around, lift me up again. I'm never too proud for a helping hand. I've been feeling down. Can you hear me now? Sunday, come around, lift me up again. I'm never too proud for a helping hand. I've been feeling down. Can you hear me now? Sunday, carry me down to the water, wash me clean. I'm still struggling. Sunday, bury me under the weight of who you need me to be. Can't you see I'm struggling? Can't you see I'm struggling? Can't you see I'm struggling?